So I talked about 6.1 for Final Fantasy XIV last week, and I talked about a little bit about the new PvP mode. I've been playing a lot of the PvP mode. It's very, very, very fun. I was not expecting PvP to be this good because previously, FF14 is not an MMO that, people play because of the PvP. They play it for the story. They play it for the glamour. They play it to go to strip clubs, which are actually a thing in the game. They ERP. They do all of this stuff that is not PvP. PvP drops with Crystalline Conflict, and oh my god. So, the problem with the old PvP system is most people played a system called Frontline. So, Frontline was basically chaos. FF14 Frontline. I'll show you a picture of it if I can find one. One that sort of demonstrates how bad it is. This is a great picture. Yes, this is a perfect picture. You can't see anything that's going on. No, don't open the video. Just open the image. Thank you. Oh, this was back in Heaven's Ward as well. Wow. So, all of these people, right here, they are all going for the same objective. So, basically, Frontline was 24v24v24. It was 72-man PvP. So, a lot of the individual things you do weren't really that important. You could be very bad, but still be on the team that wins. But even if you were good at PvP, there was just so many people that unless you were focusing on individual targets, you just weren't going to get anything done, because one-on-one PvP in 14 doesn't really go that well. Unless you're fighting someone who's really good or you're really bad, most of the time, if you one-on-one someone, you're just going to lose. Most of the jobs. There are some exceptions, like samurais are busted right now, and ninjas are busted, and dragoons are busted, but anything else, like let's say a warrior goes up against a dark knight, or a warrior goes up against a white mage, even then, like, people complain that warriors are broken, but it's fine. You're not going to die basically instantly. So the new PvP is no longer this stupid 72-man PvP. It is now 10-man. You have 2 teams, 5 on 5, and they are 5-minute matches with overtime. This is such an improvement. So the other problem with Frontline is you'd have a lot of people that they would get stuck in conflicts that don't matter. Like, you're supposed to be going towards the shiny objective. Like any sort of objective system, most of the modes work in a capture the flag with some extra sort of thing on the side. But because you have so many people and the matches were like 15-20 minutes long, you had a lot of time to have these skirmishes nowhere near the objective. Like, the objective would be on the other side of the map, and like, everybody would be there. Or like, you'd have a lot of people that would fight over the center, and there was nothing happening in the center. Like, occasionally things would happen, but at that time, nothing was there. So they were just fighting for literally no reason. And you were just watching the other, little groups go off and just going after the objectives. And that was how you'd win the game. So now, though, because the matches are so small, the maps are much smaller. Like, it's a match, it's a map where you won't go more than, 10 seconds unless you wipe out the entire enemy team without encountering someone else. So people sort of have to be, constantly running towards the objective. Some people still dick around and lose matches because of that. I'll get into that in a moment, but most of the time, it's a lot more fast-paced. So the idea with Crystalline Conflict is you have this crystal in the center. When you stand on the crystal, it goes to the enemy base. When the enemy stands on the crystal, it goes towards your base. When you both stand on the crystal won't move until one of you die, or one of you get off the point. So basically the idea is you want to have as much of your team as possible around the crystal. They don't have to all be on the crystal. It moves at the same speed if there's 1 or if there's 5 people. So you need at least 1 person on the crystal, and you want to make sure as much of your team is alive as possible and fighting off people that try to get you off the crystal. Now, obviously that would make it very, very difficult to make any sort of move. So to make it so you can flip the game, and a lot of people on the forums are molding about this, saying, oh, it's unfair that this exists. There is a system, well, there is the limit break system like you would see in Dungeons. So in Dungeons, you have the ability to unleash some, like, big ability. On the DPS, it's a big death laser or death fireball. It's a big death thing because they're DPS. Healers get a heal, and then tanks get a big shield. In PvP, though, it works differently. Every single job has their own limit break. So, I can't speak for most of them, but with the Astrologian, which is one of the healer jobs, you get basically a party-wide buff. So, your party takes less damage, they do more damage. I think they have a regen on them as well. And this lasts, I want to say, for like 10 or so seconds. Then you have, like, the White Mage, which is also a healer, which gets a big death laser. Why does it get a death laser? I don't know. Give it a death laser. I like the death laser. I've been playing a lot of White Mage, and I'm enjoying it. So, I don't take away my death laser. So, you want to be sort of pick off the enemy team, sort of build up your limit break as you're going. You don't get limit breaks just from doing kills. Your limit break gauge fills up as you do damage, and I think you get a bonus when someone dies. So you get your limit breaks fairly quickly. You probably have it within, like, the first minute and a half of the match, and then you keep getting them back more and more and more. Now, basically what you want to do is get as much of your party with the limit break as possible, and then all go at the group at once, unleashing your limit breaks, and just eliminate them. So, because you can gain your limit breaks, they can as well. So if you try to go, like, one-on-one against the team, you will just get eliminated, whether it's because they just swarm you, or because one of them unleashes the limit break, and then, you know, with the White Mage, the death laser with also a stun. So you don't want to get hit by that in a position where, you know, you can't really do anything. So you want to regroup and then go after the team, knock them off the crystal, and then push back. In a good match, you'll see the crystal going back and forth a couple of times. I've had matches where it has, like, a gauge up the top telling you, like, how close to the enemy's base you are. So 0% is you're in the center, and then 100% is you're on the enemy's base and you've won. Getting the crystal onto their base is the win condition. So a good match, you'll see, like, 86% on either side because it's gone back and forth multiple times. And that's when it gets really, really fun. So, I love it. It's such a great system. There are 3 maps right now, and we'll see if they change in the future or they add more maps or what they want to do, but there are 3 maps right now. I don't know their names. I don't really care what the names are. So there is this map that I guess would be set in, like, the Sea of Clouds or something. You're on this floating island, and every couple of minutes, there is this turbulence mechanic. So when the turbulence hits, everybody gets shot into the air, and then loses, like, a half or a third of their health, but I'm not sure the exact number. So if you're on low health, you just die. You just die. There's nothing you can do about it, except there is a mechanic to block that. What you're supposed to do is just before the turbulence start, use your guard. So guard is like this little magical block sphere you get. It lasts for 5 seconds and eliminates 90% of damage that you would get if someone attacks you. But it also stops you from getting hit from turbulence. So you pop that, and you see all the people who don't pop it just fly off into the sky, fall down. And that is a great time to use your LB if you've got something that is like a damage one, like a samurai or a white mage, or most of them actually. You want to just pop it there and eliminate them. I've seen so many times where, like, the entire enemy team doesn't pop it. They all fall down, and I use my white mage limit break. They're all low enough health where it just eliminates all of them, and it's the best fucking feeling, because your team's just, like, there's only a quick chat system. You can't actually say, like, random stuff, but they'll just spam out, good job, good job, good job, good job, and you fucking just run it to the enemy base, and in some cases, doing that can just win you. There is also I guess that's on, like, a running track or something. The gimmick here is that there are these sections off to the side, and some, like, other side sections where you get this super sprint, and you can, like, run all the way to the enemy base in, like, 2 seconds. So it makes it really easy to traverse around the map. I don't really like the gimmick for that one. It's fine, but it's kind of boring. And then you have the ruins map, where every so often there will be this I don't remember what they're called, but there's these enemies in the game that like to explode. That's what they do. They explode and they do damage. When this one explodes, it's sort of like is it Bomberman? Is that the game? Yes, exactly. It's basically like Bomberman. So they will explode, and it's also in this grid map as well. So you have like these sections of the grid where if you stand there, you basically die. Like, you won't die instantly, but you lose like a lot of your health really quickly. So you want to either get out of those points or use your guard to stop yourself taking damage at that time. It's not my favorite. I kind of like the Turbulence map because the thing with this one, the thing with the Bomberman map is everybody sort of understands how it works. Like, don't stand in the orange bad, because bosses do that as well. But the Turbulence map, a lot of people don't pay attention. I remember for my first couple of matches there, I didn't realize how it worked and would fly into the air. I was like, why the hell can't I dodge this? Like, how do I stop this? But when you realize how it works, and everyone realizes in like the higher ranks, most people realize in the higher ranks, there's still some people who don't. But when you're doing casual matches, you'll see like your entire team basically fly away. You're like, what are you guys doing? Like, this is it should be known at this point. I guess it is only out for about a week and a half at this point, so there's a lot of people who still don't know exactly how it works. But the other thing that happened with this new update to PvP is they completely reworked the way that every single job works in PvP. If you go to the PvP area with any job right now, your entire hotbar is like, ability removed, ability removed, ability removed, ability removed. Every PvP ability got removed and then got replaced with like things that make, like, maybe not make more sense, but are a new way to approach PvP. So every job has that guard, as I mentioned. Every job also has a heal. So your heal is attached to your MP. They cost 2,500 each. You have 10,000 MP, so you can do 4 at once. And when your MP runs out, it will regen over time, or you can use your elixir, which will full heal you and full heal your MP. The elixir, though, takes 4.5 seconds to use, so you don't want to be using it in combat. You want to go and, like, you want to try to eliminate the enemy team and then pop your elixir. That's generally the way that it's going to go down. Some people try to do it in the wrong point, though, and that goes very badly for them. I'm speaking from experience. Speaking from experience, I've made that mistake before.